that thing going, man. I don't know how to get YouTube moving.
Ooh, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. All right. We are live. All right, let's get this shared really quick. Oh. Screen Addicts is live. It's a lot of work.
Oh, I hear you.
There's Joey Luna.
Cuz. That's my cousin, man.
Number one cuz.
How the hell do I share this thing?
What's up, everybody? We are just getting these links shared, and then we'll get started here momentarily.
Indeed.
So if you're here, say hi. Say hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh, you meant our listener. I'm sorry.
Somebody said it's party time.
Party time. Facebook user.
Facebook user said it's
Hello.
party. It's a lot of work.
Siri is pumped. Man, I'm trying to share the thing.
Come on, Steven, get with it.
I know. I thought I had it like ready to go, but I can only write a comment. What the crap? I don't know. I'll figure it out.
All right. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Well, Steven. Cheers, fellas. Cheers. Are you ready to go?
You're going to have to talk about what you're sipping over there, Chris.
Oh, I'm about to just drink the bottle. Anyway. All right. Uh-oh. Somebody says, I refuse to be anonymous.
That is, I saw my friend Steven Eford. That is him. Yeah.
Sorry, Steven.
I see him now.
Something with the way the group works that you have to have permissions and all sorts of stuff. So we know who you are. You will not be anonymous to us.
Never.
So,
okay. I got it. I shared it.
You good to go?
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like a boomer, but I'm good.
All right.
Okay, boomer.
Whoa.
Listen to this guy.
Jeremy, you are one.
Don't even get me started, Grandpa Romy. All right, you want to give us a count out?
Okay. Oh, you want me to do that thing again?
Oh, yeah, the countdown. That's always fun.
Jeremy loves the countdown.
It took me 3 minutes to get ready. I apologize, fellas, and to listeners.
Yes. Okay. I ain't waiting that long.
That was like 30 seconds.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Screen Addicts podcast. As always, I am one of your hosts, Chris Cobra Kai Forever Villegas.
I am Cinema Steven Sosa.
I am Jeremy, and I've been dancing with the Reaper this week.
Uh-oh.
Man, that can mean so many things with Jeremy.
A lot of things with Jeremy, but we're glad everybody's here with us. We're glad Steven, not this Steven, but the one in the comments that refuses to be anonymous. Somewhere in there, yeah. Thanks for everybody joining us. Joey Luna up in here, one of our avid watchers, always on the live stream. Thanks for showing up every time we're here. Fellas, it's been a couple weeks, man. How are y'all doing?
Oh, pretty good.
I currently feel like I'm on the set of the 1997 action film Hard Rain because it has not stopped raining for the last 3 days. But yeah, other than that, it's good.
Nice. But you're safe. Nothing's too bad, right?
No. We had some tornadoes in the area touching down, and we were kind of on watch all night long. And
Mhm.
man, I would literally sleep through a tornado because I would fall asleep, and then Sonya would wake me up. Like, Steven, I think there's another warning. And I'm like, oh my God, you're the only warning. I'm going back to sleep. So, but yeah, everything's good.
Good.
Just we're getting the tail end of Sally, Hurricane Sally. So you know how that goes.
I hope you're not getting the catastrophic flooding that Pensacola's getting.
No, and my sister-in-law Kelly, who she listens, and her girlfriend Emma, they are in Pensacola right now, and so they're hopefully they're not in any dire straits or anything, because a lot of the flooding is coming out onto the beach area, and it flooded all of downtown. Like, if you see videos of Pensacola downtown, it's flooded pretty bad.
Oh,
And
Wow.
luckily Emma has a truck that will plow through anything and get them wherever they need to go. But yeah, so far they're good. I'm more worried about them than us, but yeah, so far I think the storm's tail end is starting to shift north, and that is your meteorology report.
All right.
Yay!
Very nice. Very nice.
Viper 7.
Man, it's been a busy last couple of weeks. We didn't come to y'all last week because we had our annual fantasy football draft with us three and some more friends from high school. We get together every year. We played this is like what, sixth year? We've done it more. Fifth year?
Yeah. No, it's sixth.
Sixth?
Yeah, I've won twice. Sam's won twice, and Richard has won
Once.
Twice.
Oh, so this is
seventh year. This is the 7th year, dude.
Wow. Okay. 7th year.
Yeah.
We've been playing fantasy football with a bunch of our close friends. Well, I say a bunch. There's 10 of us from high school that's how we keep in touch, man. And we usually take a big old trip down to the Dallas area and all get together. But COVID happened and we couldn't do that this year. So we did it virtually, how we started. But that's why we didn't bring you an episode last week. We were busy with that. It's always fun to catch up with them guys and stuff like that. But enough about that. I know y'all are here for movies and TV news and what we do. We're throwing a little wrench in today's way we're doing the show. We're going to start off with headlines because our main focus on today's is just what we've been watching. There's a lot of good stuff that we've been talking about, what we've been keeping up with, and there's some new things that we think you should be watching if you haven't watched it yet. So we're going to go in a little more depth about in our recently watched. So to kick it off, we're going to be getting into the headlines. So Steven, what do we got, man? Started off headlines, buddy.
The first headline that pretty much the biggest headline that had happened in our absence was the passing of Black Panther himself, Chadwick Boseman. And this came as a complete shock to everybody, as he had been disclosing his battle with what type of cancer was it, Jeremy? Was it
colon cancer?
Colon cancer, that's right. And so, to everyone's surprise, he was pronounced dead. And I mean, it just threw everyone for a shock because, like I said, he was very private about it, and he was even filming movies for the last 4 years while battling the disease, which was just crazy. And I felt kind of bad because when Sonia and I watched The Five Bloods, the last film that he was in, the Spike Lee war film that came out this past summer, I looked at him, I thought, man, he looks really gaunt. Like, he's really skinny. I said, maybe he was losing weight for this role, but I didn't think, military, when you're in an army film, you usually beef up, and but I thought, wow, I guess that was just a personal choice. And come to find out, the poor guy was in his last stage of the cancer and he's still filming movies. And I thought that was just absolutely so admirable to his craft and to his fans, and to any contractual obligation he may have had, because I guess he was filming these movies in preparation for and monetary preparation for his families. And I just thought, wow, that was absolutely crazy. And then he goes in further depth of it, saying that he was battling the cancer while filming the Avengers, all the way down to Civil War, man, when he first showed up as Black Panther. And I thought,
Yeah.
wow, that is crazy. And I guess he didn't tell anyone, obviously, because they wouldn't cast him as Black Panther, because that's Marvel's MO, is that they want longevity with these actors in these roles, and they want people that they think are going to stick around for a while to do these films. And especially when Black Panther was the biggest hit of that year, it was released, the solo film. And I mean, not only the biggest hit of that year, but one of the biggest hits of all time. I mean, of course he wasn't going to say anything. I mean, he was going to literally die with this secret. And even Kevin Feige, the showrunner, the main producer, was surprised. He was like, yeah, we didn't know until a week or two before he actually passed. And just because he couldn't do anything, he couldn't answer the phone. He just wasn't, and it was just so sad to hear that. And then I was also thinking about his filmography when it happened. And I thought, man, this guy has been Black Panther, Jackie Robinson, James Brown, just like all these roles that he did, 21 Bridges, which was really good. And at Marshall Thurber, like all these movies that he had done in the last 5 years, that resume, it was pretty impressive. And considering the fact that he was doing it while sick was just jaw dropping, So what'd you guys think when you heard that news?
I mean, the rest of
tough.
America, I was shocked, dude. It was crazy. Like, especially somebody so, I mean, with the popularity of Black Panther, and to keep something like that a secret, of how big you're in the public eye. My gosh, that just blows my mind. Especially, the way paparazzi is, the way access to information is online. Like, medical records or him going to the doctor was never released. No pictures were ever taken of him going into a doctor or into a cancer treatment center or anything like that. Like, that just is insane to me. I mean, hats off to how he did it. I wish more Hollywood types would take a page from that, man. You know what? Go live your private life, man. You don't always have to be in the spotlight to change lives and to have your voice heard. Like, he went through all of that and still worked his ass off and meant so much to so many people. And you never knew anything was wrong with him. So,
okay, quick question. Where do they take the franchise now? Do they recast T'Challa, or do they?
No. They released today.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Today
Breaking news, Chris. Please share.
I read that they released today that the next Black Panther is going to be his sister.
Okay, so Shuri
is going to don the Black Panther claws and suit or whatever. So
I didn't hear that, so that's good.
I heard that today, barely. So,
well, I know that they're pushing forward, more diversity with these characters, but I thought, man, Black Panther just became a household name from a mainstream standpoint. So I was like, man, it would be pretty not necessarily rushing of them to recast, but I thought if they were going to recast, I know this was kind of like an out there scenario, but I thought, why not have Michael B. Jordan be Black Panther? I know that he obviously was Killmonger in the first one, but people would get it. People would understand that it's like, oh yeah, he's doing it for, and maybe it's just because I'm a big Michael B. Jordan fan, but I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, okay, so I guess that's good that they're gonna go ahead and just go for it.
And I didn't know, and I was asking a fellow comic book nerd geek that I know, there is a comic book storyline that his sister does take over.
Yeah.
So there's stuff to base off of it. So,
well, and I heard that she was going to be like groomed to be like the next Iron Man-esque character, but I guess that I don't know what they're going to be doing now. But yeah, that makes sense.
It's going to be good. It's going to be interesting to see exactly how they take it and where it goes. I think it'll be great, especially you're riding off a very high on Black Panther, of course, and now you add the main character as a black woman, Black Panther, it's just going to double, triple, quadruple that franchise, I think. And it's not like she's not a great actor. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's really good. So
plus Michonne in that movie, I can't remember her character name in the movie, but
she'll always be Michonne. I don't care what.
Right. She could be in a sweeping epic film,
and she'll be Michonne.
But I think the women are very predominant in those movies anyway. Like in the first Black Panther, they're very strong, and the whole army of in Wakanda was the majority of them were women that were with Black Panther side. So that it's just a natural progression to it. I think that's good.
I like it. All right, next headline, Steven, this is all you.
Well, this is kind of a joke, but we're still within Marvel news, but apparently there was a Chris Evans, Captain America himself, had leaked some nude selfies that were making the rounds, if you will, and his shield was not covering that.
Me and Jeremy will drink to that, baby.
Yeah, and so I just thought it was funny because he goes out on the tour and he's just like, I apologize for what happened, just bringing so much attention to it. I'm like, dude, I'm thinking you did that on purpose.
Of course he did.
But yeah, I just thought that was kind of funny. And everybody's like, America's penis.
Did anybody see it? Did any of y'all see it?
I just found out about it today. I'm not saying it's like any of your wallpapers on your phones or anything. I didn't see it.
I heard the story about Instagram photos coming out. I didn't see them or anything.
No.
But.
Okay.
Use it as your green screen while we record, Chris.
Right here, right behind my ear.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. That just But and to something a little bit more wholesome, if we will. The Mandalorian season 2 trailer just came out yesterday, and watched that a couple of times. And thank you for posting it, of course, Chris. Mm-hmm. And oh man, it just looks so good. It's X-Wings, TIE fighters, just everything about it. I just love that time period, if you will, of Star Wars. It's like right after Jedi, right before The Force Awakens, and just that little sweet spot right there where it covers everything.
And it's so crazy because it seems like it falls in line with Rogue One to me.
Right.
How good Rogue One is. Like, it almost, it's getting there to be one of my favorite part of the franchise. Mm-hmm. Mandalorian, Rogue One, dude. I think unpopular opinion, I guess. To me, Rogue One is the best movie in the Star Wars franchise there is.
I wouldn't say that's too unpopular. There's a lot of people that hold that film in a high regard. I personally do myself. I loved Rogue One. I thought it was so good. Mm-hmm. And granted, the way it ends is kind of a bummer, but it's almost one of those things where you knew it was going to happen that way just because of how the rest of the story unfolds. Right. And it's funny because then they made that mistake of like, oh, great, we had really great characters that a lot of people love. So now we're going to have to, figure out a way to bring I can't say his stupid name, Diego Luna's character into like his own story just because people like those characters so much. But
absolutely,
yeah, I'm with you, man. I love Rogue One.
But, we have a question on social media, and I think it goes with headlines. So it says, I don't know if y'all will get into it, but I would like to know your thoughts on the Academy making changes to the qualifications for Best Picture nominations.
What were some of the? I didn't realize they made. I wonder if they're talking about because there was some news about how before the Academy had said that streaming films weren't in consideration for Best Picture unless they had a theatrical run. And as far as that goes, I thought that was ridiculous, but The Irishman and Roma from last year kind of put that to rest whenever they were nominating all those streaming films now. And I think in a situation that we're in right now where theaters aren't closed, you're pulling films for any kind of awards considerations solely through streaming, and I don't see why they should be disqualified for anything like that. Aside from, I mean, and it's like I said, a movie's a movie, and no matter where it's being produced or no matter how it's being distributed, a movie's a movie, and if it's the best movie, it should be, warranted as such. But yeah, I guess if that's what the rule change is.
I'm looking it up. So go on to the next line, and I'll read it.
Yeah. I'll get the next headline here. But one more thing about The Mandalorian, though, was that when you're watching that trailer, it looks like a Star Wars movie.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
The quality of that series is phenomenal. Like, they spared no expense. Like John Hammond in Jurassic Park, man. It just looks so great. And of course, they had to have a little Baby Not Yoda bit in the trailer, which was excellent. And but yeah. And there was also some news that Chris was telling us about the Animaniacs, the popular 90s television cartoon, is coming back. And I guess, is that HBO Max that they're coming back on? I would assume.
No, it's one of the
Hulu. It's Hulu.
Oh, Hulu. Yeah. Okay. Well, I just figured HBO because they have all the Warner properties. But, I find that kind of weird because I know that some shows are some shows and movies that weren't owned by a particular streaming service is streaming on that service. They have a lot of Warner movies on Netflix, which is kind of odd. And another thing, even television series like How I Met Your Mother, we're binging that, which was a CBS show, isn't even on CBS All Access. It's on Hulu. So I don't know. I guess it's whoever wants to bid on some of these things first. But
absolutely. Okay, so I found what the new qualification is for.
Oh, okay.
So here it is. The standard A requires a film submitted for Best Picture have at least one lead actor or significant supporting actor from undepressing racial or ethnic groups, or at least 30% of all actors in secondary and minor roles from undepressing groups, including women, people of color, LGBTQ plus people, and those with cognitive or physical disabilities. So it's really, really pushing the diversity aspect in all movies. So
that was the complete opposite of what I was talking about. Yeah, I wasn't even close.
No.
But, that's interesting. Yes, inclusivity is always nice, and you always want to involve as many groups of people as you can for certain projects. But you know what? It's kind of interesting because what if you're doing a period piece in World War II Germany? There's not much. I'm thinking like Schindler's List wouldn't even be qualified for a film. If I'm thinking about like movies like that, Saving Private Ryan, some of my favorite Spielberg war films, they would be disqualified from Best Picture contention based on these rules, which I think is a bit. I mean, that's a bit ridiculous.
Maybe not so much. I mean, I could see in those periodic type films, the racial aspect being a little difficult. The sex aspect you could push a little more.
Sure.
Women and have actors that are LGBTQ playing roles too, so I think there's ways around that you could still get in. Of course, we always want to see everybody represented in a fair, just way. But I mean, you're right. In some, Nazi Germany war movies, it'll be hard. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, we'll see.
If they want to remake Saving Private Ryan, I shall play Private Ryan.
and you are diverse, so
yeah.
Cheers to that.
But I mean, that's definitely making a point as far as pushing that diversity. I know people won't like that. People, tend to go in certain ways with stuff like this. It's a very touchy situation for some people. To others, it just doesn't bother. I don't care. It doesn't bother me none. And a movie to this also goes to the critical aspect of movies. Like, the Academy Awards have never dictated to me what I think was the best picture of that year. Anyway, and it goes to critics, Rotten Tomatoes, all this stuff. Like, I always go see a movie because you want to watch it. Go see a movie that you think you would like to watch because you would like to watch it. And your favorite movie of the year may not be my favorite movie of the year. And it's definitely, every year I watch the Academy Awards thinking, yeah, these are really good movies, but there's X amount of movies that they didn't even make any kind of consideration for that I personally thought were the best of the year. So, when they narrow down the films with these new rules, I think, well, okay, let's see what let's see what's left.
A lot of foreign films are about to be nominated.
I think Alfonso Cuarón needs to be writing Roma Dos as we speak, because that baby's got it locked now. But and I think, but even look at last year's winner with Parasite. That was legitimately one of the best movies of that year, and it didn't have to be. These so-called rules didn't have to be forced for that movie to win, because it was the best movie of the year.
Great. Yeah.
I think the best movie of the year should be the best movie of the year, regardless of. It's almost like they want. I don't know. It's a really weird thing. I need to look into this. This is such a curveball tonight. I really like this question because I didn't even know that was the case.
There were new rules. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Thanks for pointing that out.
And I need to look at the specifics of these rules too, because I am a lawyer, a cinematic lawyer, and so
make sure the contracts are right.
Yes,
sir.
I will read the fine print because I got these big ass glasses, and I am able to do so.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeremy too. Jeremy got new glasses.
Yeah, Jeremy's got those new glasses. You read the contracts, Rome.
All right. What I think that's all for
I think that was it. Yeah, unless y'all heard anything else or anybody else heard anything that they wanted to talk about.
Oh, look, there was a Mandalorian question.
Okay.
I heard they changed Mandalorian actors halfway through production. Is that right?
Well, I know that Pedro Pascal had to go and do some reshoots on Wonder Woman, but it didn't change his. It didn't change anything for his role. And if there's anything else that changed, I don't think it's going to be
major, right?
Yeah, nothing specific. And Baby Not Yoda doesn't even talk, so it's not like they needed a new voice actor.
I did see. We did have a question yesterday after the trailer was released. It was from a friend of mine. She was asking, did the trailer seem to you like it was hinting at Baby Yoda was actually Yoda?
No.
I mean,
I didn't think so, because we know the timeline that it's in. There's no way
Yoda's dead.
Unless, because this is the thing. Right. Like, there's an argument that's been made that, and if she saw something that we overlooked, could bring validity to this concept that Baby Yoda is a reincarnated form of Yoda that we haven't seen. But my argument is that if he was reincarnated, then we would have seen him in episodes 7 through 9, surely, because he lives 400 years. How old was Yoda when he passed away in Jedi? He was like 400, 500 years, something crazy like that. So, yeah, no way. That's what I'm saying. Like, it could maybe it is, and he dies before episode 7 or something, saving the Mandalorian. That's what's happening.
That's right.
So, I mean, unless and everybody wants it to be Baby Yoda, because we gave him the damn nickname already. Nobody's not calling him Baby Yoda, and the producers are probably like, look, everybody's calling this thing Baby Yoda. We got to figure out a way to make him Yoda.
He is the child.
Yeah, the child is not cutting it. And so I think hopefully in season 2, if Mando gives it a name, we'll kind of put it to rest as to who it really is.
Hashtag Team Baby
is Yoda. Yeah. That'll be trending now.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would like for it to be. I mean, I don't know, but he's just so damn cute. He can be whoever he wants to be, or she. We don't even know. We don't even know if it's a girl.
Hey, if it is, they could be up for Best Picture.
Yeah, yeah. And it's green, so we covered everything here.
But now the question is, are we going to see a planet full of those things?
Well, that's what he's doing in the trailer, right? He's taking the child home
To the people.
to where it resides from, and I think that's probably what we're going to end up seeing is a whole race of them. Because again, Star Wars never goes into the backstory of what his race or lineage is. He's just awesome.
Yoda, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see.
Favreau and Filoni are having to make this up on the fly.
And they're doing a hell of a job doing it.
Well, I was about to say, like, I hope they don't do anything to appease, I hope they don't change course to appease, too many people, because what they did with season 1 was so good, and it should just be whatever they keep doing, just keep doing. I mean, yeah, it's nice to pay some fan service here and there, but man, just keep doing what you're doing. I think it's great.
And then go off and make the next trilogy, please.
Yeah. And October 23rd, man, that's so cool that it's just a little over a month away. So that was awesome.
Unless it gets pushed back, 2020.
But this is the good thing about streaming is that it won't, because
it won't.
We can watch that shit at home.
You know what they'll do is, and I think they did it with first season, only 1 episode a week. What are we? Is it 1994? Bullshit, God, they released the whole season.
We talked about, me and Sonia were like, didn't they do that with The Mandalorian? Because we'll get into something later, but
it was 1 a week.
It was 1 a week, right? Because it wasn't like 2 or 3 the first week. It was just 1 a week.
They treated it like an actual TV show.
That's bullshit.
And I'm going to get into something about that in a little bit.
All right. Now we're off into our recently watched Jeremy. It is your stage, my friend.
I don't like that giggle. This is scary.
Okay. Well, I'm continuing watching Lovecraft Country and Raised by Wolves. Both Lovecraft Country got weird this week. Oh my God.
But you say that with a smile, so it's a good
it's a good weird.
People love weird.
And Raised by Wolves, it's just great Ridley Scott visuals.
Yeah.
That's really all you can say about that.
Yeah. It's not that's a weird fucking show, man.
It's weird. Lovecraft Country's weirder.
I don't know. It depends on your style of weird, Jeremy.
Raised by Wolves is, dude, like, I don't know. You got to be high, drunk, or really messed up. That shit. I like it because I like. Sometimes I like weird shit like Steven and Jeremy do, but I mean, man, it's out there. It's out there, brother.
Coming to our web of weird, Chris.
Into the web. And let's see here, some movies I watched this week. Let's say I started with Bill and Ted Face the Music. It's been 30 years since the last Bill and Ted movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's been 30 years. Correct. Why the hell did they pull a Force Awakens on everybody and pretty much remake the first 2 movies? What was the point in that?
What else were you expecting with a plot? Like, I mean, they have to go into time because they're so old, they can't do anything else.
You do something new.
Like what? What would you have done?
I don't know, but something that wasn't.
It's not so easy.
They had Alex Winter had 30 years to come up with something, and he came up with rehashing Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey. Okay.
I will say though that he had a lot more time on his hands to prep something like this, but I don't know. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was. I thought by doing the way that they did, with the time travel and then heaven and hell to incorporate all the characters back in and introduce new ones. I thought it was. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. It was basically Force Awakens. It was a quasi reboot, if you will. And I thought, like, okay, yeah, they definitely forced a plot, but you're not there for some kind of groundbreaking time travel story. You're there for Bill and Ted.
No, but yeah, don't rehash what everyone's already seen 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And they did it better the first time.
Well, of course they did. They did Star Wars better than the first time than they did The Force Awakens.
And then I tried to watch Tenet. I tried. I don't know what the hell I watched, but I watched Tenet. It's weird as shit. I'll let Steven explain it when he does his thing. But
put that ball in my court. I appreciate it.
I have no idea what was going on. After about 45 minutes, I'm like, nope, no, I'm done. This is I don't know. This is
Gandalf have
weird.
too much of his pipe.
Oh God.
Well, they'd have made it better.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't know what the hell would have made it better, but Nolan's doing this high concept sci-fi, and it can be entertaining, and it can be like he's trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
I see. So you're telling me don't watch it just yet? Don't be in a rush to
watch it whenever you feel like watching some high concept sci-fi. And then finally, the last movie this week I watched, Robin's Wish.
Fuck you, Jeremy. I hate you so bad. I hate you, dude.
Yeah, man.
The documentary about Robin Williams' last few months on this earth. And it details what was going on inside his brain. And he had Lewy body dementia. And it was completely misdiagnosed. The guy died not knowing what the hell was wrong with him. And it's an emotional roller coaster of a documentary. I had to watch football to get over it. And that really didn't help much because I haven't really wanted to watch anything since. So,
and the Cowboys lost. So that
and
didn't
the
help
Cowboys
shit either. About Robin's Wish was that it was a really quick documentary. We watched it just tonight. It was only like an hour and 15 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And I love, I'll tell you, I got teary-eyed in the part that that I didn't expect to be as emotional about, but when he was in the, when he would go for the USO and he was talking to the soldiers in the hospitals, dude, that teared me up. Sonya cries at commercials, man. So she's weeping the whole damn time. But I'm like, oh God, that's so sad, And his whole, the Robin's Wish kind of ideology was that he wants people to not live in fear. He wants people to be happy. He wants people. That's why they showcase him putting so much physical and emotional just energy into his acts and into his performances, because he doesn't ever want people to feel the way that he does. And it's just like, Oh my god! And then you see some of the careless things that he does. I mean, people I think tend to forget that Robin Williams was one of the highest paid actors in American cinema in history. Like he had some of the biggest comedy hits. You know, inflation speaking, to this day are still box office monsters. And
Yeah.
I had a hit television series in the 70s. I mean, he was a superstar. And for him to be so down to earth and appreciative of people and his fellow man and woman.
The way his neighbors talked about him was just like, you know, just saying he was just a regular guy. He'd go walk his dog, he'd talk to us, you know,
riding his bike all the time.
Yeah.
And, yeah, man, it was really sad. And you know, I knew you don't go into watching something like that without the expectations of it being a bit of a downer, because there's no light at the end of that journey. And it's just it's so sad. But you know, I guess from a viewer perspective, you get somewhat closure of what happened to the guy, because nobody knew for the longest time. And I felt so bad for his wife too, because she seemed like such a good person as well. And you know, they're both former, you know, drug addicts, alcohol abusers, and living clean lives for the last 10 years together. They saved each other, and for him to leave, it's just like, oh man, I felt so bad for her too. And I don't know, but yeah, Jeremy, that was a good recommendation, man. I really liked
it wasn't good.
Well, you know,
cried my ass off. I've been working from home. This is one of my last days working from home. I'm like, okay, I'm home alone. I know I'm going to cry. Nobody's going to be around. It's perfect timing. Dude, I start the movie about 10 minutes in. I'm like, like ugly crying. I'm like, I don't even know him, but I love him.
I miss you, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Dude, it was so, oh man, if you ever have a chance to watch it, definitely go watch it.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Robin Williams, he would want you to watch it. He would want you to know what was wrong with his brain.
Yeah. And see, you know, leave it to the damn media to spin it other ways, that it was something else and it was this and it was that. And, you know, I'm glad it has come to light exactly why and what had happened to him. And it wasn't his fault. It was,
yeah, they claim suicide by depression.
Yeah.
That was what the claim was. But yeah. And it took like, because he died in August, and it took a few months later for the autopsy results to come back for her, for the wife. And man, I was just like, God, to live that. And I guess that's closure for her too, because it's not like, you know, he just quit. And that because the what was it called, Jeremy? The Lewy
body dementia.
Basically, like the synapses in your brain are just disintegrating, and you're just you can't. Man, that's so scary.
Okay, moving on, please.
That's all.
Yeah,
that's all
Jeremy.
I got. That was my end. That's why I haven't watched anything since.
Man, you should watch it. You can't let that linger in your brain be the last thing you watch. You watch like South Park or something to pep you up.
The new one about the
new South Park special. That'll help.
Yeah, do it.
All right. So moving on to Moi. I finished and started and finished Cobra Kai season 1 and 2. So damn good. So damn good. I cannot wait until the next season. And you know, I want to give, you know, I know he's watched a couple times and we've talked about it, but Peter, man, he just had he does the Cobra Kai podcast.
Cobra Kai Companion is
Cobra Kai Companion. He just interviewed what's his name, the Mexican boy that fell off the stairs.
Miguel.
Yes, he just interviewed him
and
on
he
YouTube.
Fall off the stairs because he got freaking roundhoused.
Well, he got kicked off the stairs.
Spoilers, by the way.
So go look up on YouTube Cobra Cobra Kai companion, and our friend Peter just interviewed Miguel on his YouTube channel. I'm about to go watch it probably here after we're done. But man, if you haven't watched it, go hit it up. It is so good. You will want to be Cobra Kai for life after. Promise you.
You mean like I was saying for the last 2 years, Chris?
Yes. Okay. Yes. I didn't want to go and do the free subscription and then have to remember to turn it off.
Yeah, because they will charge you, buddy. $18.
So, I wasn't doing that. So I'm glad Netflix finally has it. I'm glad Netflix is doing the next season. I just need them to hurry up now because I need it ASAP.
Personally,
they still filming it?
No, they wrapped on 3.
They wrapped it?
They're in post-production now, so it'll come out sooner than later. But I'm actually really glad that Netflix picked it up because now more people are watching it. It's the hit that it deserves to be, and the production value for season 3 and onward is going to be really, really good.
Oh yeah,
really good.
Oh yeah. So I watched that, and I've been watching my Big Brother. Big Brother, yeah. Why do you always give me that look, man? Like
I like
this is the
Big
first
Brother.
time I've actually seen y'all when I talk about Big Brother. But I can just know that y'all are rolling your eyes every time I talk about it.
I love Big Brother, Chris. I've never missed an episode.
You're lying, whatever. Both y'all should tell. Christmas is my girl, and she's gonna win it. I just mark it down. Somebody write it down.
Me and Jeremy actually have a Big Brother podcast on the side that we've never invited you on.
We review every episode.
There's 3 a week, so y'all. No wonder we only record this one.
Man, that would be the ultimate betrayal.
No, you know what would be the ultimate betrayal if y'all had a podcast talking about love and basketball.
Yes. We dissect every frame of love and basketball.
Yes. Right.
And Tasha's been our guest episode on all of our shows.
No.
It's good stuff.
We're moving on. Anyway, okay. I did watch the movie Ava with Jessica Chastain, Colin Farrell, and John Malkovich. It's not horrible. It's not the greatest. What gets me is I love Jessica Chastain. She's great. But as an action star, not so much. No. and I know this is picky, and I know it's kind of dumb. But the reason why it does not work for me is because the way she runs. So you know how Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, the little
Brie Larson runs weird. She doesn't have a superhero run.
She's like 5 feet tall, man. She's got little limbs.
I understand, but I think Jessica Chastain is a little pigeon-toed. So when she runs, it looks weird and it throws me off, dude. And I'm like,
What by your qualification is a good female runner?
Female runner? Michonne.
Yeah, she can do it all, man.
I was about to say, dude, Ezra Miller looks when he's running.
Good thing
he's
when
so fast you can't see him.
Yeah. The lightning. That's why they added in those lightning bolts, because they didn't want to see him running all goofy.
But other than that, it's a good flick to have on in the background and kind of watch. Not too bad. I think that and football started. Both of our teams lost. At least y'all's team didn't lose by a field goal and then let the other team miss 4 field goals.
Yeah.
And then lose by a field goal. I mean, it was just
No, we just can't score points.
And we get bad ref calls.
Right? Both ways. It happened both ways. Calm down. So I think that's about it for me. I'll always remember other things that I watch as y'all are talking, so I'll jump back in.
Sounds good.
So yeah, but I mean, Jeremy talked about a bunch of stuff that I watched too. Lovecraft Country, Raised by Wolves, and Robin's Wish. I watched all those three too, and now I'm back on Robin's Wish, and now I want to cry. Stephen, go.
Chris. Okay, I had a couple things. Finished Yellowstone finally because Sonya caught up to where I was, and we finished the last two episodes. And boy, did they go out with a bang! I'm interested to see what's going to happen, obviously, because that was the biggest cliffhanger that series has ever been on. Watched a show on Netflix called Rust Valley Restores, and it's about these guys that live in Alberta, Canada, and they have this massive junkyard filled with old, just old antique muscle cars and trucks. And the guy looks like Dee Snider, man. He's a madman, and it was just a fun little watch that I saw in there. The Boys. Didn't get a chance to talk about The Boys, but The Boys premiered in our absence of the show. And oh man, I was so excited to watch The Boys. I was going to binge it in a single day like I did the first season, only to find out that Amazon Prime released the first 3 episodes only. I thought, you sons of bitches. This is colder than anything Homelander could do. You don't let us binge this series. It's such a Vout Corporation call, you know?
They could have just done one.
Sure. But now we're going to be getting the next episode for the rest until October when it completes. And of course, you don't want to just wait until they're all available because people will spoil shit. They always do. So you're just like, well, I can't stay off the internet, so I might as well watch it all. And
treat it like an HBO series. 1 episode a week. Okay. There you go.
No, this is the argument to that. HBO is a model based on a cable television provider. They've never been in the streaming game until now. They've only entered it. So when you purchase HBO as a cable package, you get that that's your anticipation of watching shows. They're released episodically, week by week by week. When you have watched Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, you get into the streaming binge territory. That's what their MO has been since day one. And now all of a sudden, and Amazon Prime did make some pretty valid arguments to this. They said that, well, we haven't been in production on a lot of series that we should have been in production in, so we won't have as many shows to release. And they also wanted to have like water cooler conversation. Like, what water cooler? Nobody's in their offices right now. But and that's the argument that I'm making. You're paying the premium service. You're paying this charge to binge watch your shows. So that's your expectations. When you're actually ending up watching it like your basic cable provider, that's what people get pissed off about. And rightfully so. Like, I don't think, I can't think of another series on Prime that did that. I think this might be the first one. I could be mistaken. But again, I haven't watched all the Prime series on there, but what was the last big shows that they did? Carnival Row. That was all in one season. Sonya and I finished it in like 2 days. And The Boys is their biggest show right now. Easily their biggest show. And so for them to do that, a lot of people were pretty pissed off. But, what are you going to do? You can't just cancel they're like, I'm canceling my subscription. I'm like, oh, yeah? Okay, so you're just not gonna watch The Boys
for a week until the next episode.
Right? It's just one of those things where you just complain, but nothing's gonna make of it. But those are the television series I watched. And to round us out on the movies, we talked about Bill and Ted Face the Music. I liked it. I did feel like it was just more of a greatest hits album rather than a new album, and for me that was okay. Tenet was interesting. And let me say this first. And I am so glad that I was able to see Bill and Ted and Tenet in the theaters. I went to the movie theater to see it. I was the only one in the theater when Tenet was out, so that was awesome.
I'm sure.
But you adhere to the social distancing. They block off the chairs that you can purchase to sit in, so that's pretty good that you're not close to people. And you have to wear your mask if you want, which I do. And so watch Tenet in IMAX. Visually fantastic. That's what that movie's made for, is the IMAX screen. That's Nolan's thing. He can shoot on, what is it, 90 millimeter film now for
I
IMAX.
think 70 or something.
It's just fantastic and it looks great. But storyline wise, I got it. It's basically talking about temporal inversion, where you drop something and you just dropped it, so you're somehow able to pick it back up. Like you're able to reverse time. Yeah, it's very complex. And then it gets into this thing where I'm like, okay, I'm following you. I'm getting it. But then it does this thing at the end that I didn't think was going to happen. I was like, no, it should have gone back to the beginning of the movie if we're kind of following in line here. But okay. And it ended up in this big military sequence that was like, what? So,
and then you got this going on, one going this way, the other going that way.
Yeah, you had like the red team going, the blue team leaving. I was like, shit. Okay, let's go. And this is like 2.5 hours long too. Like it's a long movie. And I don't know. It was just definitely requires a lot of the viewer. And I mean, I'm glad I watched it on IMAX at least, because visual representation was the one thing that I took away from it the most. And watched a couple of things. Watched this. Oh God, that new Kevin Bacon movie called "You Should Have Left" with Amanda Seyfried, where I thought she was his daughter, but she played his wife. It was really, it was so stupid. Like they go out into this.
It's not a good movie.
No, it's not at all. I was so bored. The ending was just plain as just white bread. It was terrible. Watched another movie on Prime called Get Duked, with these 4 juvenile delinquents in the Scottish Highlands that are running from this weird cult. It was kind of supposed to be funny. It was okay. Watched this other weird cult movie on Prime called Satanic Panic. That was like a dark comedy where this girl's delivering pizzas to this rich neighborhood, and they're like a cult too. I'm like, man, what's with this cult stuff? I mean, but I don't know. It was okay. It wasn't anything great.
You need to watch Velocipaster.
I was going to. It's actually on my list. Go ahead.
I was going to tell you about the movie that I texted you. I'll talk about it later. So
I'm about to get into that, and I have a massive bone to pick with you. My God. Okay.
Did you watch that?
Jeremy, of course I watched it, man.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to let this punk call my bluff. You know what? I'll get into that right now. The movie that Chris sent us was a poster of fat-ass zombies. I was like,
no, I can't. That's just no.
This fool don't know. I will watch anything. But challenge accepted, Barney Stinson style. I will watch anything you put in front of me. Okay, so I went to go look for it. Right, I couldn't find it anywhere. Apparently, the name of the movie was changed to American Zombie. So I was able to find American Zombieland, and I'm like, okay, so this is the same movie. I guess fat ass zombies didn't really catch on for a title. If you will.
I guess the MPAA didn't approve of that title.
No, I guess not. And but yeah, that was one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. I thought Tenet was long. No, that movie was longer, and it was only 90 minutes. I was like, this is the worst movie. It reminded me of that movie reviewed for the Indie Flick Fix, that Crazy Famous, where you're watching it, you're like, okay, I know this is supposed to be funny. I know this was written with the intention of being a comedy. You know, it was very much a wannabe Zombieland, wannabe Shaun of the Dead, where you're like, oh, look how funny and witty our comedic dialogue is while we're killing and murdering zombies. My God, man, that movie was horrendous. This guy and his idiot friends, Chris, it was so bad, dude. It was just so bad. And like the lead, none of them were likable. Like this one guy, like he gets off on watching pregnancy videos. I was like, oh my God, this is where we are with this movie. It was disgusting. And
oh my God. So you want them to all be eaten by zombies by the end?
Absolutely. I wanted to be eaten by a zombie. I wouldn't have to quit watching it. Because, once I push play on a movie, I have taken the sworn Screen Addict's oath of watching everything that I push play.
I think you're the only one that has taken that oath because I've stopped a lot of shit.
I was going to say, I'm watching, I'm like, there's no way in hell this guy finished this movie. There's no way he finished this movie. It's so bad. And
5 minutes. I was like, nope.
Yeah. Usually when the credits roll, I'm kind of curious to see the stars' names and, because that's kind of how I learn from who I like. I'm like, oh yeah, if I see their name in something, I'm like, oh, I like that guy or that girl.
Didn't care, huh?
But yeah, so for anyone listening and they want to watch the worst movie ever made, American Zombieland, also known as Fat Ass Zombies. And Chris, I don't ever want to hear about our trauma recommendation again because that was horrible. And I'm not going to end on Fat Ass Zombies, so I'm going to end on
please don't.
It's funny because on Saturday, Sonia and I had watched. We started Scream because she's already September. She wants to start all of her Halloween horror movies. I mean, we watch horror movies all year, but some specific to Halloween. I said, we haven't watched Scream in a long time. Watch Scream. Oh, let's watch Scream 2. Watch Scream 2. And then Scream 4. Literally all Saturday. We watched the entire Scream series. I think they hold up. I love those movies. I think they're great. Yeah, of course, you get to they get worse as they go along.
Yeah.
But man, I love Scream. I love that movie. And I watched that remake of Valley Girl, the musical version of Valley Girl, the Nicolas Cage 80s movie. They did a musical version on Broadway. And so what they did with this remake was they filmed it. And it stars the girl that was in Happy Death Day. Dude, I got to tell you, man, I really enjoyed it. The music was great, but man, they didn't stick the landing. I thought that ending was so disappointing and it ruined the whole damn movie for me. It was like watching Lost or Dexter. I was like, this ending sucks so bad. It ruins everything else. But I'm going to end it on this movie. I finally watched A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, the film about Tom Hanks portraying Mr. Rogers. Never got around to watching it. I don't know why. It just kind of slipped through the cracks, if you will. But it was good. I thought it was really good. I was kind of, one of those people like, oh man, he's not even the main character. That sucks. Mr. Rogers isn't about Mr. Rogers. It's about a guy who's interviewing him for his newspaper or for his magazine. And man, it was great. I thought it was really good. And he's in it quite a bit too. So, but yeah, that was all I had for this week, man.
Cool. Hey, added headline. As you were talking about Scream, I remembered the news came out that Nev Campbell's coming back.
Well, yeah, and the fact that Scream 5 is being made as well, that was news. So, I mean, I'm watching part 4, and they brought Kevin Williamson back to write the script, and the guy's smart enough to incorporate things over time, and it made sense. The movie wasn't that great, but how they were all incorporated made sense. But I think, okay, you got to pass with 4. You do another one of these, man, you're forcing it big time because nobody's clamoring for Scream movies anymore. And I don't know. I mean,
and Wes Craven is dead.
He is, but come on, Wes Craven's lost it. I mean, he lost it a long time ago. He wasn't the same Wes Craven that he was even when he made the first Scream, first 2 Screams. And the guys that they got to do the new sequel are the ones that wrote and directed Ready or Not, which is a really good movie. Did you see Ready or Not?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, I when I found that out, I thought, okay, this could work. But yeah,
cool. Like you said, nobody's asking for Scream movies, but we're making popular Happy Death Day. I mean, I'd take a Scream movie over Happy Death Day to you anytime.
Those aren't that bad.
No, they're horrible.
I kind of like them.
I watched the first one. It wasn't terrible.
Fat Ass Zombies is better. Fat Ass Zombies 2, when it comes out and it has Cam Gigande in it, I'm gonna rub it in y'all's face.
And he probably would be in it.
Yeah, that's man. I don't know. Even Fat Ass Zombies is No, I mean they're beneath M. Gigande level bad. I mean, I'm gonna title this episode "The Screen Addicts Become Fat Ass Zombies."
Oh man! All right. Well, that brings us to an end. Man, it was an interesting night. It was fun getting caught up with everybody and everything. We will be back next week on our regular schedule. Hey, if y'all have a topic that y'all want to talk about, let us know. Throw it in the comments down below. We are game for anything. Everybody that's stuck around for the whole live stream and all of that on social, thank you for joining us. We hope we gave you a little bit of entertainment tonight. I know Steven did with his hour of fat ass zombies. So
that's your fault.
Man.
I know, dude. I didn't even think y'all were gonna watch it. Like I was scrolling through.
I didn't watch it.
My Fire Stick, and I saw it, and I was like, "Ooh, I gotta show them this." My bad.
You can't call my bluff on movies, Chris.
To be fair, I didn't recommend it. I just said, "Hey, look what I found." Thought it was funny. Didn't think you'd watch it. My bad. Now
you took him way wrong.
Oh, I obviously did. So I have to redeem myself this week. I'm going to find something that you haven't watched, and it is going to be good.
Cleanser, yes, please.
So, I'll find something. I promise.
Cleanse the colon that is the fat ass zombies.
Anyways, all right, guys. Well, like I said, thank you for joining us. Thank you for enduring this hour and 6 minutes of the Screen Addicts podcast. If you are with us listening to the podcast, wherever you're listening to it, whether it is Apple Podcast, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We'd surely appreciate it. And then while you're here, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review if you can. It just helps us get seen in the searches a little bit easier. And then if you're on the social medias, which we hope and we think everybody almost is, except for them boomers, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, okay, boomer.
Go ahead and give us a follow on Facebook or Instagram. All you have to do is search the Screen Addicts podcast. And while you're over on Facebook, go ahead and search for our group. It's called the Screen Addicts Fanatics. And that is where we are most active, dropping trailers and memes and all sorts of movie news throughout the week, so you can stay up to date on almost everything movie news and TV news related. If you are on the Twitter machine, we have a superstar in our midst on Twitter, and his name is Jeremy Marshall. And Jeremy, let the people know your Twitter handle, my friend.
At Jeremy Marshall. Simple.
That's right. And Jeremy is spelled right there. You can see it. If they're listening, Jeremy, tell them how to spell Jeremy.
Jeremie.
It would have been embarrassing if he misspelled his own damn name.
I know.
Ooh, that would have been bad. But look him up. Follow this man. And then follow us on Twitter as well. Just search Screen_Addicts, and Addicts is spelled ADDICS. But I think that wraps us up for tonight. Fellas, anything before we sign out?
Good seeing you, fellas. And not good watching fat ass zombies.
Do not watch it. Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
Don't, please.
All right. So as for me, good night.
Adios, amigos.
Good evening.